Good afternoon and welcome to day 2 of the Pioneer Valley Tip-Off presented by OVG here in the Mullen Center at UMass Amherst. Today's game features the Renaissance Phoenix against the Putnam Beavers. This afternoon, the two teams have the chance to showcase what they have for the upcoming season, and we can figure out a little bit about themselves as well. Now the starting lineups for both teams: for Putnam: Grace Haywood, Nyla Sanchez, Shamira Jones, Sonora Lamb, and Sanaya Lada. As we are underway, a faulty tip-off, and we will redo that one. As for the Renaissance Phoenix, their starting lineup: Sinai Baker, Kaylee Buzzle, Zian Wallace, Janai Wallace, and Maya Okana Sanders. We are underway, and a quick bucket for Springfield's Sinai Baker, and they get themselves into the press.
It's going to be an interesting matchup between teams in very different divisions, but this Springfield team, this Renaissance team, with a lot of young talent, but that plays together very well, and are looking to pick up their 3rd consecutive win to start the season without even starting a player older than a freshman.
And the Renaissance came up with a steal on the press. Ball being batted around. Baker swinging it around the key. Shot is up, no good. Offensive rebound, and gets it to go. That's Ian Wallace for the Renaissance.
Yeah, and Wallace, you wouldn't expect her to be a 7th grader, but she's the team's leading scorer and already on the board early.
Putnam having fits with this Renaissance press, and on the way up, Zian Wallace is fouled and will head to the line to shoot 2. Putnam's been unable to cross half court so far. The first 2 possessions, 2 turnovers. Great press by the Springfield Renaissance as the first free throw is wide left.
And Zanai Wallace, 2 of the Wallace 7th grade, what I assume to be twins, are 2 of the higher scorers on this team. Her sister, Zion Wallace, is the team's leading scorer, and you're not going to see too many times a person who's in middle school leading the way for a team that's 2-0.
As Wallace unable to convert either free throw. Putnam coming back the other way. The shot is blocked by Zian Wallace. Pass down the court, tipped around over to Sinai Baker, passes it off to number 10, Zanai Wallace, for the layup, and just like that, a quick timeout by the Putnam Beavers. 6-0 early on, just 6:28 left to play in the first quarter. Putnam having fits with this press. The Renaissance is having their way early on.
And just a rough start for this Putnam team, who is trying to get into the win column after some tough losses, and we're seeing early kind of what's hurt them at the beginning of the season. 0-2, unable to score more than 32 points in those first 2 games, and when we scored 0 points through the first 3 minutes, you're not at a very good pace to put points on the board. But once they get the ball over half court and past the press, they had a decent chance inside that just got swatted away. But you gotta force the press to break, and then the Phoenix will have to drop out of the press once a couple buckets fall for the Beavers.
A very well-coached team this Springfield Renaissance team is by Joshua Baker. Last year, they finished 13-8, but they're off to a 2-0 start this year with wins versus Marhar and Franklin Tech to start off the season. We are back underway. They have let go of the press.
Slamming the floor on defense are the Phoenix.
And a quick bump and a foul as
I feel like
crosses half court.
Anytime you smack the floor, there's a low probability of kind of good things happening. It seems like always the highlights for those is bad things happening to the floor slappers.
And a long pass out of bounds. They're going to say it will stay with Putnam. Everyone on Putnam seemed to be heading down the court. A lot of the inbounder to the corner for three. It's good. Grace Haywood, the captain of this Putnam Bears team, for three.
Yeah, we're going to be saying her name a lot as this game goes on. She was completely organizing the warm-up by herself. I heard her say, you got to practice and warm up the way you play, and really just called on the team to play harder even in warm-ups, and she picks up a hot start here on Jack Lehman Court.
And a poor pass by Baker out of bounds. Putnam coming back the other way. Renaissance let off the gas on the press, but are trapping right over half court. Haywood dishes it off to the paint, and it's stolen away by Sinai Baker. Going back the other way quickly. It's Buzzle. Can't get it to go, and an over-the-back foul goes against Janai Wallace.
And now here comes that 1-2, or it's more of a 1-2-1-1 press.
Bit of a diamond formation.
They're way, way up there.
And the pass down the court is tipped, and it eventually goes out of bounds. It will stay with Putnam.
Good hustle, too.
Referee getting into the sportsmanship action, giving the Renaissance player, Sinai Baker, some credit for chasing after the loose ball, even though she couldn't chase it down.
Once again, Baker tipping the pass. That time on the ground, Baker's the first one to it. Ahead to Buzel. Going the other way, just too strong on the pass. Tries to save it to no avail. Putnam coming back the other way. Aubrey Panetta with the ball, the freshman. Throws up the layup, off the glass, gets it to go.
Good take, strong, and getting it over the outstretched arms of Zanai Wallace. Closes the gap up to one, and now Putnam settles into a zone. 3-2. Seen a lot of zone through the first couple games of the PVTO as we cross the midway point of the tournament.
Baker with the feed in low, turnaround, no good from Wallace, and Putnam's coming back the other way. It's the captain, Grace Haywood, stuffed on her way to the hoop by Zian Wallace. And the ball will stay with Putnam.
And the Beavers going with a much more depth focus, as we've already seen a bunch of substitutes enter and exit the game as another one comes in.
Alonzo, that's Alonzo checking in, rebounded by Janai Wallace. Quickly the other way, kicks it out for three, can't get it to go. Follow up by Wallace, gets it to go on the miss by Okana Sanders. Trying to break the press, there's a jump ball, and it will stay with Putnam. And another steal for Renaissance. That's Sinai Baker on the layup and getting the steal. And that's also Baker on the foul, reaching in on the press. Inbound goes to Haywood, and Haywood is fouled by Justice Parks, trying to make her way up the floor. 10-5 is the score, just under 4 minutes left to play here in the first quarter. Putnam down by 5 with the ball. Haywood on the left key. Into the paint. Fouled, no, excuse me. It would be a travel called on Shamira Jones, the senior, in the paint. And here come the Phoenix. Okana Sanders with the ball. Over to the right wing for Baker. Baker feeds it in low, just too strong for Zanai Wallace. Out of bounds, Putnam ball. The wing, Winetta trying to get it over Talata, and her pass is intercepted by Baker. Baker the other way, the Euro step, can't get the layup to go. Haywood the defense and the rebound.
Good move, just couldn't get the finish.
Haywood is going to be called for a travel on her drive to the hoop, or carry, excuse me.
Yeah, she's trying to do a little too much as they trail by 5, but she's got a triple of those points.
Hannah Sanders over to Baker. Baker strong pass to Wallace. Into the corner for Okana Sanders. Can't get the 3 to go. Long rebound and turned over by Panetta. Baker, the enforcer, driving in. Knocks someone down, misses, gets her own miss, and is fouled on the way back up.
Powerful moves for a freshman to just put the head down and drive into the lane. Can't finish, but gets her own miss, and then power dribbles up and in, and earns a trip to the free throw line.
Sanai Baker, impressive early in this game so far. A quick 4 points out of the 10 for the Phoenix. 10-5 still the score. And the first free throw is off the front iron.
And as we've said plenty of times throughout this tournament, it's an adjustment shooting here in the Mullins Center. When these high schoolers play at the typical gyms they do, there's a wall right behind the hoop, and now you have about 1,000 seats behind, and although there is no crowd there, the depth perception can be a little hard to figure out.
Baker misses both free throws, but Janai Wallace was there for the putback, and another turnover forced on the press by the Phoenix. Okana Saunders, the inbounder. Goes deep 3 from beyond the college line. Can't get it to go. That's Kaylee Buzel. Long rebound for the Phoenix. Baker driving and passes it right to Panetta. Quickly the other way. Panetta's pass is just too strong for Trinity Alonso. Phoenix ball.
That three-point attempt by Buzzle looked really good. Confident. And that's going to translate as this game goes on. And like I said, the depth perception becomes figured out, because if she's putting up shots that look that good from that far, she's going to hit a couple today.
Yeah, remember that the pink tape line is the three-point line here at the Pioneer Valley tip-off. The black line basically meaningless, and the red line is the college 3. And a turnover by the Renaissance. Making her way into the game for the first time is Nadia Lockett, replacing Shamira Jones for Putnam. On the inbound, Trinity Alonso loses it. Okana Saunders dishes it off to Wallace, can't get it to go, gets her own miss. Swings it around to Baker. Baker to the corner for Buzel, pulls and gets a mid-range 2.
And there's the first one to go, what I expect to be a bunch of perimeter shots. That one just inside the pink line of the three-point arc.
Lockett to the hoop. She's blocked by Baker, saved by Buzel, and out of bounds. Last touch by Putnam. 14-5 with all ones on the scoreboard. 1:11 to play left in the first quarter. Phoenix up by 9. Okana Saunders with the ball. Swings it over to Baker. Baker driving to the hole and is called for a travel. And we'll be going back the other way. For the Phoenix, Camila Alvarado will make her way into the game for the first time, replacing Zian Wallace. And an Aaron's pass, trying to break the press. Buzel comes up with the steal, swings it out to Alvarado just into the game, misses the 3, just too strong. Putnam comes up with the rebound. That was Nadia Lockett. It's tipped out of bounds. Putnam keeps it.
For the Phoenix, it's continued to sustain pressure on Putnam. They as soon as the shot goes up, they jump into the press. They crash the boards and then they try to steal it, and they've been successful a number of times. The ball's going to stay here as it's deflected out, but that's been the recipe for success, is that Putnam's not even had a chance to really put up too many shots. They've only shot 9 to the 14 of Renaissance, and we're still in the first quarter.
The inbound is to the corner for Alonso. Can't get the 3 to fall. Baker, the long rebound, pushing quickly. It's off the foot of Nadia Lockett and goes out of bounds and will stay with the Phoenix.
Ooh, I think that might have gone off the foot of the Renaissance player, but they get the benefit of the call, and they'll keep possession after a ball is dribbled off the foot of a teammate.
Hannah Saunders with the ball. Shot clock is turned off. We're down to 15 seconds left in the first quarter. Saunders to Buzel in the corner, driving in, puts up a shot, can't get it to go, gets her own miss, and it is ripped away. Just 2 seconds left, and they will not get a shot off, as that'll wind down the first quarter. 14 to 15 is the score. The Phoenix lead the Putnam Beavers, by 9. Andrew, any closing thoughts on the first quarter?
Like I touched on right at the end there, it's this sustained pressure that has caused a lot of problems in every one of these PVTO games, and right now the Phoenix have a pretty good advantage over the Renaissance, or over Putnam, but you know, we'll see how that continues on. The shot making from Renaissance has been impressive as well.
We'll take a short break here and be back for the second quarter of the Pioneer Valley tip-off. This Pioneer Valley tip-off is presented by the Oak View Group. Live broadcast is sponsored by the Valley Blue Sox. The Valley Blue Sox are a premier summer baseball team competing in the New England Collegiate Baseball League. With over 75 MLB draft picks, the Blue Sox have been one of the go-to spots for collegiate baseball players with eyes on the next level. Come out next summer to Mackenzie Stadium in Holyoke, Massachusetts to catch the Blue Sox live. We're going to kick off the second quarter. Alvarado for 3. Off the front iron, rebounded by Alonso, and is tipped out of bounds. Will stay with Putnam.
Never a bad idea to go edit the ad reads mid-game, as some of those are kind of tough reads, but they just are missing words that just make it tough.
A couple errors in there make me sound a little foolish over here, but it's all right. Putnam turnover, and Phoenix will be coming back the other way. Hannah Saunders with the ball. Saunders to the corner for Alvarado. Not shy to shoot the 3 in this one. Can't get it to go. Ball's on the ground. Coming away with it is Janai Wallace for the layup. Putnam, good job breaking the press this time. Alonso throws one up. Can't get it to go. Rebounded by Alonso. Grabs her own miss. Fight for the ball, and it'll be a jump ball. And it will stay with Putnam. Alonso, the inbounder, to the corner. It is tipped out of bounds, and it will stay with Putnam.
Haywood taking the 3. She couldn't convert it, but she's going to continue to shoot. She's got to hit some shots to get the Beavers back into this game.
And Panetta comes up with the steal off the deflection, goes all the way to the hoop, throws up a layup and gets it to go.
It's Patty Mills-esque, the just sprinting into the layup. That is a tough finish. And that's her second take to the rim that she's able to get in, and neither of them were really routine layups. So an impressive layup package from her.
And Baker throws one over to Wallace. Wallace can't get it to go. Off the backboard, rebounded by Haywood. Haywood speeding the other way, excuse me. Over to Panetta. Panetta gets it in to Lotta, who can't get it to go. The ball's tipped out of bounds and will stay with Putnam.
Good transition defense from the Phoenixes. They had Haywood sprinting down the court. They were able to cut her off, level off, and then shut him down.
The inbound to Haywood. She can't get it to go. Janai Wallace with the rebound. Just bringing it up herself. Over to the corner. Alvarado once again pulling again. Just short on that one. Can't get it to go. Rebounded by Putnam, but the turnover, the steal is Baker. Driving in, kicks it to Buzel, and she double dribbles. And just like that, Putnam gets the ball right back.
Nice play, girls, nice play.
On the inbound. Lotta turns it over. Nice steal by Saunders. Saunders into the paint. Nice dish to Janai Wallace for the layup.
Great pass. More pressure that the Beavers just can't handle.
Lamb with the ball, hands it off to Lotta. And Lotta passes it over the head of Panetta, and we're going back the other way just like that. Phoenix defense has been suffocating Putnam up to this point, forcing them to 16 turnovers. We're just at 5:20 left to play here in the second quarter. 18-7 is the score. The Phoenix lead by 11. Saunders driving in, tough take, can't get the layup to go. Offensive rebound by Zia and Wallace, and gets the layup to go.
The Wallace sisters already with 10 combined points of the 20. Remember, just both 7th graders, but they're dominating this game, and they have been all season for the Phoenix.
Saunders is caught for the travel that time. As Nadia Lockett makes her way back into the game, replacing Sonora Lamb. Haywood with the ball. She's trapped on the left sideline and turns it over. Good steal by Alvarado. Zion Wallace comes up with it. Gets it back in the corner for three. Can't get it to fall. A fight for the rebound. It'll be a jump ball. Staying with the Phoenix. Saunders, the inbounder, hits an open Zion Wallace. Can't get the layup to go, though. It's out of bounds off of the Phoenix. Justice Parks is checked in for Mayo, kind of Saunders here. Panetta bringing the ball up for the Beavers. And just like that, a traveling violation called on Nadia Lockett as she caught the pass in the corner and just shuffled her feet.
And already the 17th turnover for the Beavers to just 8 on the other side. And turnovers add up, and they add up to extra shot attempts, and that is kind of the difference in this game. The field goal attempts, Renaissance up by 9, 24 field goal attempts to 15 for Putnam.
And an errant pass by Baker stolen away by Alonzo. Panetta to the corner. Lockett can't get the jumper to go. Good rebound by Justice Parks. Sinai Baker to the corner. Wallace can't get the jump shot to fall. Her sister grabs the rebound and can't get that one to fall either. They grab it back again. And Zion Wallace is fouled on the way up and will shoot 2 at the line. First free throw is up and it's good. The Wallace sisters have combined for 9 of the Renaissance 21 up to this point. Janai with 6 and her sister Zion with 3 with a chance to make it 4. 21-7 with 3:30 left to play in the second quarter. And the second free throw is short.
High arcing free throw, but what's interesting about this game is Putnam is in a much higher division here in Massachusetts basketball or athletics in general, with an enrollment of nearly 1,400 on the other side. Springfield Renaissance School only has just over 600, so more than double the people attend Putnam, but the Phoenix don't care. They're gonna come here and they're gonna put the ball in the basket and play some stifling defense to put themselves up. And so they're not necessarily an underdog, but just based on the school size, you kind of assume so.
Yeah, they play very tough, uptight defense once you cross half court, or once you inbound the ball, they're all over you. So they'll be coming back the other way. Baker ahead to Alvarado. Alvarado swings it out to Wallace. Janai Wallace drives, bit of a foul there, goes uncalled. Ball's on the ground, and taking it to the ground was Lada. She travels with it, and Alvarado will be the inbounder for the Renaissance. Alvarado kicks it out to Buzel for 3. Off left. Long rebound by Wallace. Janai Wallace over to Buzel. Swings it to Baker. Good feed inside to Wallace, and Wallace gets the layup to go. 23-7 is the score, and a blocking foul is called on Camila Alvarado. Savannah Walters will make her way into the game for the first time. Alvarado heads to the bench. Neto with the ball. Gets it back to the top of the key. Feeds it in low, passes too strong over the head of Jones. And another turnover for the Beavers, and it'll be Phoenix ball.
I can't hear you.
Baker swinging it around to the corner. Bad pass stolen by Haywood. Haywood speeding the other way. Going all the way, head down. We'll have to kick it back out. Panetta will shoot the 3 and is short. Out of bounds. Phoenix ball. Connor Saunders comes back in, replacing Janai Wallace. And Sonora Lamb back into the game, replacing Shamira Jones. Buzel on the right wing. Gets it back in the corner, will shoot the 3, gets it to go.
Sometimes you can just recognize a shooter. She is a true shooter. Did not back down after missing her first, and now has hit a couple, and now has her first triple of the game.
Deep 2 from Lotta, can't get it to fall the other way. O'Connor Saunders speeding, and her Euro step took one extra step and gets called for the travel.
Yeah, that's that Euro step. You get to go one way and the other. She went one way, the other, and then back to the original way. They're going to call that every time.
And Haywood pulls up from deep, offline, rebounded by the Phoenix. Baker bringing it slowly back up the floor, just under a minute to play here in the first half. O'Connor Saunders, excuse me, the three. Offline, rebounded by Lamb. Netta coming back the other way, 2-on-2 break. And they'll slow it back down, kick it out. Haywood on the left wing. Over to Lotta. Haywood to Panetta in the corner for three. Just a little too strong on that one. Rebounded by the Phoenix. The shot clock is turned off. Just under 30 seconds here in the first half. Baker the other way to Buzel inside. Layup no good. Rebound brought in by Haywood. Panetta will pull another three. Can't get that one to fall. Long rebound by Lamb. Tries passing, it's turned over, and that'll wind down the second quarter here from the Mullins Center. The Phoenix lead 26-7 over the Beavers. Andrew, it was dominant half one way for the Phoenix. What did you see out of them?
Just complete dominance, and it just spanned the entire half. They did not let their foot off the gas the entire time, had 10 steals, and forced 21 total turnovers from the Beavers, and that's a recipe for success if you're part of the Phoenix team, as it's just going to be really hard to come back when you can't really take care of the ball.
Down by 19 going into the half. Let's see if Putnam can make any adjustments. We will take a break for the halftime. Stay tuned in to the Pioneer Valley tip-off. Welcome back into the second half of the Putnam Beavers and the Renaissance Phoenix. Andrew, let's take a quick look at some stats from the first half so far, 26-7.
Yeah, dominant first half, and the rebounds really stick out, 23-13, and then 11 of them offensive for the Phoenix. And they got a lot of steals, forced a lot of turnovers, and a lot of that coming from that floor-slapping duo up top of Buzzle and O'Connor-Saunders.
And a jump ball will go in the way of the Phoenix to start off the half for the Putnam Beavers. O'Connor-Saunders turns it over. Nice steal by Grace Haywood, but Saunders pokes it right back. Speeding up the other way, swings it over to Zion Wallace. Over to O'Connor-Saunders for three. Offline, offensive rebound by Janai Wallace, gets the layup to go. Janai Wallace having herself a great game to this point.
And Sinai Baker just a little shaken up after taking a tumble there. She's gonna take a seat quickly, but looks to be relatively okay. I think her knee just hit the ground pretty hard, and that obviously never comfortable on the hardwood. Needs a little bit to walk that off.
Camila Alvarado will check in for her. 7:19 mark of the third quarter. Ball tipped out of bounds will stay with Putnam. Lotta up the court to Lamb. It's tipped by Zion Wallace. And will stay with the Beavers.
Heads up play by Sonora Lamb to just kind of let that go out of bounds. Didn't have too much moving forward on the break, so recognized the deflection and then just took it the other way.
Haywood to Lamb, over to the corner for Lotta. Lotta driving is blocked by Camila Alvarado. Lamb the rebound, misses and gets it back. Kicking it back out for Haywood. Grace Haywood dancing around the perimeter. Nice feed into Lamb. And Lamb will pull from the free throw line and is fouled on the jumper and will get 2 shots.
And a much better start to the second half for Putnam as they get some chance for some easier points. Free throws have been hard to come by here at the Pioneer Valley tip-off, and that's a good form from Lamb. She hits the first.
28-8 is the score. Beavers down by 20. Chance to cut it to 19. And Lamb's free throw is off right. Rebounded by Janai Wallace. Wallace up ahead, Alvarado wide open layup. Gets it to fall on the nice dish from Janai Wallace. Haywood trying to break the press on her own. And it is tipped out of bounds. Saunders hits the deck, deflects it out. Lotta with the ball, pressured by Wallace, and Wallace picks up a quick foul. 50 feet away from the hoop.
And those are the controllables. A lot of coaches stress the controllables, things that are effort plays, and when you put a little too much effort into one thing, then it might cause a little bit of a problem.
As Putnam unable to hold on to the possession there, passing it out of bounds. Phoenix are going to come back the other way.
The head coach for Putnam not happy at all. Red as a tomato is his face as his team broke the initial pressure, but then threw the ball out of bounds.
Alvarado off from 3. They get it back. Buzel shoots from behind the college line again. Can't get it to go. Lamb the rebound. They had a chance at a fast break, but decide to move slow with Haywood.
Haywood only with 3 points coming into this game, had 31 of the 60 total points for Putnam in their first 2 games, and Renaissance has done a great job keeping her quiet.
Haywood driving in, gets the layup.
Right on cue. Right on cue. She gets right back into the scoring column, picks up her second field goal of the game.
Saunders bringing the ball up the court, right on the power U. over to Zion Wallace. Gives it to her sister for the layup. And it goes behind the backboard and out of bounds. And Putnam gains possession.
Yeah, just lost control of her bearings of where she was on the floor. Ended up behind the basket and nearly took off the little buzzer.
Heads up play by Baker there, jumping the pass, unable to keep it in bounds, however. And Putnam retains possession.
And our scores table gets bumped a little bit. It's always a dangerous game down here next to the floor when you have a lot of equipment. It's all in the danger zone when players start tumbling all over the place.
And Alonzo's three comes up short. Nice save by Saunders, but right back into the hands of Alonzo. Alonzo stuck in the corner, double teamed, loses it, stolen away by Buzel. Baker over to Saunders. Saunders almost turned it over, but went right through the legs of Alonzo. Last touch by Alonzo. It'll be Phoenix ball. Panetta checks back into the game for Nyla Sanchez. Buzel to the corner for Janai Wallace, and she is called for a travel. Left a little early before putting the ball on the floor. Out of the inbounder. Panetta up the court. Lamb wasn't paying attention, or excuse me, Jones wasn't paying attention. It's turned over. Baker misses the layup the other way. Janai Wallace, another offensive rebound, and is fouled on the way up. She's got herself a double-double today.
Already,
10 points.
We could be seeing potentially, depending on how much she plays for the rest of the game, you know, it's a 20-point game right now, but she could be over 15, maybe even if she gets a couple extras, up to 20. We don't see rebounding games like that too frequently.
She misses the first shot from the line. She's up to 10 points on 5 for 9 from the floor, and she's got 11 rebounds, 6 of them offensively, turning in a great performance. Janai Wallace can't get either free throw to fall, however. Rebound, Alonzo moves it up to Haywood. Haywood speeding the other way. Dribbles it off her own foot. Alonzo there to help her out, and Alonzo turns it over to Saunders with the steal. Ahead to Baker, almost loses it. Baker to Saunders. Saunders throws up the floater off the top of the glass. And the fight for the rebound, Lotta and Saunders tangled up for the jump ball, and it'll be Putnam ball.
And last season, we saw a couple players on both the boys and the girls side with 15 rebounds. We haven't seen a number higher than that yet this year, so she could take one of the highest totals in PVTO history. Obviously, we don't have the full numbers of, I mean, this event has been going on for years now. It took a little break over COVID, as many things did. But she's already tied for the total in terms of just players who've played for the last 2 years.
That last foul was on Saunders. She will head to the bench. That's her first personal, fouling about 60 feet away from the hoop there. Once again, defense collapses on Lotta once she crosses half court and forces her to travel. Baker and Buzel just collapsing on her the moment she crosses half court.
And we saw Trevor Cannon-Smith of East Hampton get 15 boards, so she's currently tied for the PVTO lead in rebounds. Looks like she might have already broke it.
Buzel from behind the college three once again. Can't get that one to fall. And it's out of bounds. And it will stay with the Phoenix. Buzel's been shooting with the utmost confidence today. Just 1 for 5 from 3, but it seems like each and every one of them has been from behind that college line. No lack of confidence.
It's funny, one of the only perimeter shots she hit, she was actually just in front of the high school line, which made it a 2.
And shots offline from Lotta. And it's tipped out of bounds. Renaissance ball. 3:16 left to play in the third quarter. The Phoenix lead 30-10 over the Beavers. controlled this game from start up until now. And Buzel, once again, another deep three, deflected off the hand of
Putnam player,
Putnam.
that's for sure, because they're going to maintain possession. And she instantly looked at her coach, who wanted her to make an extra pass. She was like, no, that was tipped. I would have made that if that didn't get tipped. That's what every shooter tends to say.
Good stop by Putnam coming the other way. Haywood almost loses it. Panetta gets it back over to Lotta. Lotta receives a screen, swings it back around to Haywood. 15 on the shot clock. Lamb driving to the hoop, goes up for the layup and gets it to fall. Sonora Lamb with a nice take to the hoop. And Zion Wallace the other way for three, misses, tries to save it on her own, right into the hands of Lotta. Lotta chased down by Baker. Buzel saves it to Baker. And a great defensive play, great effort from the Phoenix.
Just a team full of winning players. That entire possession was just effort and winning plays. We saw yesterday in that Amherst-Northampton boys game, Spencer Waite, the little point guard who was just the late Tommy Heinsohn, a Tommy point getter. This team is full of them, and that possession prior to the and one here for Putnam was just full of Tommy points.
That's a great drive by Haywood, getting the rebound, going coast to coast, getting the and one. Putnam down by 16 now, 30-14. Trying to get a late rally in this game. Still the third quarter. Still about 10 minutes left to play. Haywood's free throw rims out. Zion Wallace the rebound. Saunders the other way, travels with it.
I think the ref just did that sign into the camera just for fun. He looked right at it. He wants to come back and watch and have his own highlight tape, just like a lot of these players, especially for the Phoenix, will definitely have.
It's always fun to be on camera, no matter the circumstance, as Putnam almost turns it over and eventually does. The steal by Parks, Saunders coming the other way, the left-hand layup, it's good. And Haywood, lackadaisical pass, stolen by Baker, given off to Saunders. And she is fouled and will shoot 2 free throws from the line. Saunders at the line. She's got 6 points today to go along with 2 rebounds. First one, a line drive free throw. Goes straight in. 33-14, the lead for the Phoenix with 1:14 left in the third quarter. And Saunders' second one off left. Fight for the rebound between Parks and Lamb. And it's out of bounds, going back for the Beavers. Haywood quickly up the court. To the top of the key for Panetta. She loses it. Saunders picks her pocket, going back the other way. Saunders, another left-hand layup off the glass and out.
Look, the pressure just doesn't stop, and they get the ball right back. That was backcourt. Good call by the official right in front of us. But just, it's crazy how quickly they just turn the defense on. They miss a pretty open layup on the offensive end, and then instantly you have a player coming and pressuring the rebounder. And they almost got the turnover, but it just trickled over the timeline and into the backcourt.
Very well coached defense by the Phoenix, as nobody puts their head down after a miss. She had an open layup, didn't put her head down, got right back into it. As we're winding down the third quarter here, 35 seconds left. Haywood, the top of the key, getting doubled. Swings it over to Lotta. Lotta to Panetta. Panetta from the corner, just too strong. Rebounded by Wallace. Wallace ahead to Saunders. Shot clock is off. 20 seconds left to play in the quarter. Saunders the other way, the layup. Circles around the rim and in. Clock winding down, just below 10 seconds now. Panetta speeding the other way. Panetta, the layup is blocked. Lamb saves it straight into the face of her own teammate. And it's out of bounds.
Smiles on their face, everyone looks to be okay. She's got to kind of shake that one off, as when you get hit square in the nose, it hurts.
Luckily.
And it's always when those tears start welling that you're like, it doesn't hurt that bad, but I can't control what's happening, and I think that's what she's dealing with. Hopefully didn't really take it too hard.
She will head to the bench for the final 4.8 seconds of the third quarter. Panetta in the corner, hucks up a three. It's off. Offensive rebound is knocked away and out of bounds. That'll do it for the third quarter. The Phoenix lead the Beavers 35-14. Andrew, closing thoughts on the third quarter.
Just continued pressure. I think it was a better quarter from Putnam than we saw in the second. They scored 7 points compared to just 2 in that second quarter. So things that they've improved on for sure, and some of that has just been shot making and also limiting turnovers to an extent. All the way up over 32 now as a team, but they trail by 21. It's a ways back into this one if they want to make it close here in the fourth quarter.
We're going to take a quick 30-second break. Stay tuned in to the Pioneer Valley tip-off. This Pioneer Valley tip-off is presented by the Oak View Group, and our live broadcast is sponsored by the Valley Blue Sox. The Valley Blue Sox are a premier summer baseball team competing in the New England Collegiate Baseball League with over 75 MLB draft picks. The Blue Sox have been one of the go-to spots for collegiate baseball players with eyes on the next level. Come out next summer to Mackenzie Stadium in Holyoke, Mass. to catch the Blue Sox live. I'm Andrew Samaha, joined by Andrew White, providing you coverage of the Putnam Beavers and the Renaissance Phoenix, opening up the fourth quarter here.
And what's really cool about having a broadcast here at this event is we are running a very, very high quality broadcast. Over the summer, I worked with the Valley Blue Sox as the broadcaster, and the games would eventually be aired on ESPN Plus, and there's a pretty high level of production that you kind of need for that. And so it's really cool that we get to borrow their equipment and use it, because that center court cam is a really, really good camera that we actually put in center field as just like the straight onto the mound and plate camera. So we thank the Blue Sox a lot, Matt Drury, the owner of them, for letting us do this and get these players on camera, because I mean, maybe the first time that they've actually will be able to watch themselves back with actual commentary here at the Pioneer Valley tip-off.
Putnam's coming the other way after the Wallace free throw. She went 1 for 2 on that trip. Haywood is speeding the other way. Throws up the layup, fouled it, and one. Grace Haywood with a strong take to the hoop, drawing the contact. Haywood at the line with a chance to get into double digits. She's at 9 points. And gets the free throw to make it 10 points to go along with her 4 boards. Everybody on the Phoenix just ran away from the inbounder. Saunders comes chasing back for it. 36-17, just north of 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Live here from the Mullins Center. Saunders to Zion Wallace in the corner. She'll throw one up just short and unable to handle it that time.
Putnam back into the zone defense, and they've actually been pretty good in the half court defensively. It's just what's really killed them has been offensive rebounds and then the transition buckets off of the numerous turnovers, nearing 40 in a game, and you're really not going to be very competitive when you turn the ball over significantly more times than you actually shoot it.
Great passing around the perimeter by the Phoenix as Baker, the beneficiary in the paint. Haywood triple team, gets it off to Alonzo. She throws it up a three, can't get it to go. Tries chasing her own rebound, can't get to it in time. Out of bounds, Phoenix ball. Saunders taking her time, making her way up the court. Just barely actually crosses over before the 10-second violation would have been into effect. And well, body's on the ground. Wallace was on it, but she was out of bounds.
Good sportsmanship by Shamira Jones as she had rolled over top of the lying down player in the Phoenix, helping her up.
And Wallace with the steal on the press. Dishes it off to Buzel for the layup.
Buzzell gets another bucket, this time inside. She's done the trio of field goals, 1-3, a mid-range, and now a layup.
Saunders goes up for the layup after getting the steal. Maybe a little too fancy with it, couldn't get it to go, and a jump ball, Putnam ball. Haywood over to Lamb. Lamb to Alonzo. Alonzo in the corner. Can't get the three to fall. Fight for the ball on the ground. And a great job by Shamira Jones. Or excuse me, that's not Shamira Jones. That is Sanaya Lada. Diving on the ground, trying to get the possession back. But it's a jump ball, and it'll be Phoenix ball coming back the other way with 5:20 left to play in the game. Phoenix lead 40-17. Baker on the wing, over to Zion Wallace. Easy drive to the hoop, goes right by the defender for the layup. Haywood on the wing. Double team, gives it off to Lamb. Lamb to Lada from the corner, can't get the shot to go. Still going back the other way, holding down the gas. Baker to Buzel. Saunders will bring it back out. Baker in the corner, hesitates on the three. Cross-court pass to Zion Wallace. She puts up a three, it's short. And Nadia Lockett can't hang on to it, it goes out of bounds. Checking in for the first time for the Beavers will be Jayla Oquendo. Checking in as well is number 16 for the Beavers, who does not appear to be on the roster listed.
Yeah, we've got a lot of that. Like rosters changing than what we've submitted. There's a double dribble on Buzel. But looks like that's, what, 34 you said? Sonora Lamb for Putnam? Or are we looking at 33 now? Now I'm confused.
Number 16 for Putnam is the player in question.
There is a lot going on.
From the corner was Oquendo, can't get it to go, just short. Baker the other way. Baker pull up three.
Ooh.
That's short and goes out of bounds.
Confident.
Confident shot.
Didn't find it, but
got her toe on the red college line there.
Nice try, Nye.
You're up 42 to 17. You kind of have a little bit of leeway in terms of shot selection. You can kind of, experiment as the two guards in the zone try to blitz Haywood, and she draws the foul on the bump from Buzzell.
And even with just 4 minutes left, up by 25, the Renaissance aren't letting up. Once the ball is crossing half court, they're blitzing, not giving Haywood any space. And Haywood just wasn't expecting the pass from Sanchez that time, and it goes out of bounds. Savannah Walters just made her way back into the game for the Renaissance, replacing Buzzell. Saunders to Baker on the wing. And they're gonna whistle 3-second violation on Savannah Walters.
Smile on her face. This is the first time that call has come out of the whistle's pockets today.
Not
in this
often.
game anyways. Actually, I mean, that first game, I feel like we had like
a couple of 3-second violations.
4 or 5, and sometimes that call goes unnoticed, as if you just pay attention to the paint, sometimes you see players camping out there for 8 or 9 seconds.
Definitely not a call you see often in high school basketball. A lot of times you'll only see it get called when the coaches notice it and are pleading for it, at least in my own experience playing basketball back in high school. 42-17 is the score. Phoenix up by 25, 3:15 to play. Haywood's three is off the mark. Baker, the long rebound, ahead to Saunders. A little too strong. Tried saving it, and two bodies hit the floor hard. That's Sanchez and Baker.
And Baker's been on the floor a couple times. Just pops back up quickly this time. The last time she had to go take a seat on the bench quickly as she was a little shaken up. But this time had a smile on her face as well, popping back up and heads back to the top of the zone.
That was a pretty hard fall that time. Lost her legs and wasn't able to get her arms in front of her to catch herself. As number 16 for Putnam is fouled and will head to the free throw line. Our first shot is off the front iron, no good.
Substitution for the Phoenix.
Good job, girls.
Second free throw. It's short, but she left anyways, so it won't count. She left the line a little too early there before it hit the rim. Saunders, point guard with the ball. Driving to her left, throws up a floater. It's off and rebounded by Putnam's Oquendo, and she is fouled well away from the basket. And it'll be a sideline out of bounds. Just 2:39 left to play here. 42-17 is the score. Leading scorer for Renaissance is Janai Wallace with 11 points to go with her 11 rebounds. As for Putnam, Grace Haywood leading their team in scoring. 10 points on 4 of 11 shooting with 4 rebounds. Haywood with the ball. Driving in, throws up a shot. Falls to the ground and it goes out of bounds. Looking to draw some contact, no whistle. Saunders will pull a three. It's off, rebounded by Haywood. Haywood getting double teamed in the backcourt. Baker the save, right to Saunders for the left-hand layup, just off the front rim. Baker the follow gets the floater to fall. And even up by 25, Grace Haywood grabs the rebound and gets double teamed by the Renaissance, not letting their foot off the gas with just under 2 minutes left to play. Up by a big margin. Haywood playing a two-man game with Oquendo. They turn it over. Saunders going the other way. Baker trips on the foot of the captain, Grace Haywood. Haywood trying to help her up. Baker does not accept.
Haywood doing a good job playing hard to the final whistle, final buzzer. She's standing for what she was talking about during the warm-up session for her team, and as play hard, practice hard, play hard. She continues to play hard, and even though it wasn't her early afternoon compared to what we've seen from her before, the effort is still a good thing for the coaches to see.
Haywood, one of 4 seniors on the team for Putnam. She is the captain, and you can see why today. She's put her heart into this game. Shot by Renaissance offline. Rebound chased down by Parks. Buzzell's got it. Tries to feed it inside. It's getting tipped around all over the place. Bodies on the floor. Chasing after the ball. And a jump ball. Parks and Oquendo tied up. And it'll be Putnam possession. 1:08 to play here in the closing stages of this one. Absolute dominant performance by Renaissance. 44-17. Haywood from the corner. Her shot is blocked by Buzzell. Rebound by Zion Wallace. Wallace ahead to Buzzell. Buzzell driving, puts up a floater. It bounces in off the back rim. Clock's winding down. 40 seconds left to play. Likely the last offensive possession of the game for Putnam. And a foul on Zion Wallace on the entry pass to Lockett. Lockett will head to the line with a chance to get on the board for the first time today. And the first free throw comes up short. And she got a little more on the second one, but off the back rim, too much on it. Body still flying on the floor with just 30 seconds left. And the foul will be against 16 for Putnam. And we'll go to the free throw line once again. Oh, no, never mind. They're pulling it back. Back to the sideline.
So they changed the bonus rules in high school basketball to similar to what the NBA and women's college basketball is. There's no bonus anymore. There's no 1-and-1. It's 5 fouls a quarter, and then it's 2 shots. I'm not a fan of that rule change at all. I love the 1-and-1. I think it makes the free throws mean more when you have to make the first.
And at the buzzer, trying to add insult to injury for the Phoenix was Sinai Baker. And that'll do it for the game. The Springfield Renaissance Phoenix come in here and have their way with the Putnam Beavers. 46-17 is your final score here from the Mullins Center. Andrew, any closing thoughts on this one before we end it?
Dominant, dominant, dominant from a team that started 3 freshmen and 2 7th graders. And those 7th graders led the way. Janai Wallace with 11, Zion Wallace with 7. Then you had Kaylee Buzzell with 9. And as well as Maya O'Connor Saunders had 9 herself, and then Sinai Baker. So that's one of the more all-around efforts we've seen so far through the PVTO. And what I really love to see from both teams was just them embracing the moment. We saw when they were just walking out to the floor, the players and the coaches we're all recording the Mullins Center to save in their memories, and I hope it turns out to be a good experience. It's definitely going to be for the Phoenix, who have a blowout victory, but as well for Putnam, who get to play in a very unique arena for a high school team.
Yeah, of course, and we just saw Janai Wallace was awarded the MVP of the game. I'll remind you of her stats one more time: 11 points, 5 of 10 shooting to go with 11 rebounds. And that'll do it for this broadcast from the PVTO. I'm Andrew Samaha, signing off on the behalf of Andrew White. We got more games coming to you: 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 7 and 9. 4 more games left to go. Stay tuned in to the Pioneer Valley Tip-Off.